Everyone. My name is Zach with Atlas Agency Launch Lab and Atlas Online Solutions. And this is the next installment of our twice weekly podcast where we bring on another agency owner, whether they're just starting out, they're in the middle, or they're a veteran in the space, and just kind of pick their brain. So hopefully someone that's watching can gain something from it. We like to keep it nice and short, try to keep the conversations to a minimum so you can get everything that you want and nothing that you don't. So today we got Mr. Chris McCormack from Stealth Marketing Solutions. How are you?
Very good. How you doing, Zach?
Not so bad. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, my name's Chris McCormack. Agency is Stealth Marketing Solutions, which I founded with my fiance Jennifer Maloney a little over a year and a half ago now. So we wanted to use kind of some skills that we'd had pre-existing, and we kind of saw an opportunity in the digital marketing space. Jennifer had a friend who was involved and was doing quite well, so we decided we wanted to jump into the entrepreneurial game, if you will, and here we are. We're both from New York, Long Island. I'm originally from Queens, but I lived in Florida for 18 years, South Florida.
Okay.
And about 8 years ago, I moved back here and scooped up my agency partner, and we're going to head back to Florida in the near future. So back and forth.
There you go. We just got some snow here overnight. It didn't stick, but it's coming.
Wow, it is. It's starting to get cold real quick. Yes. Not ready for it, especially as a Florida boy. So
normally we only stream this to the seven-figure agency group, but because Chris is one of the creators of the Atlas Agency Launch Lab, we're also streaming to that group as well. All right, let's start going through these questions. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I would definitely say I'm an extrovert.
Okay.
I've been throughout my life. I'm a people person. Every job that I've had throughout my life is involved dealing with people, talking with people. Even though you might think digital marketing, yes, you're on your computer a lot and it sounds like it doesn't involve people a lot, but you're dealing with people all day long. So definitely an extrovert. I like chatting it up. I could keep going if you don't stop me sometimes.
So would you say that would be a strength or a weakness in this spot?
I would say that's a strength for the most part. I mean, two sides of the coin, right? You want to be concise and whatnot, and very structured in your messaging, whether it's through email, through text, or via Zoom or in person. Right. But you have to be able to talk to people. You have to be able to enjoy talking to people, getting to know people. Anytime you're trying to sell anybody a service or a product and earn their trust, part of that is them trusting you as a person and liking each other, having something there. So I think overall it's a strength.
Good. I had somebody on not too long ago who said that he was an introvert, and that was actually a strength for him. And this, I don't remember why. I'm not going to take a guess at it. That's probably going to be wrong, but it was a really interesting theory, because you think that being an introvert and not feeling not feeling comfortable being around and talking to a lot of people would make it. So anyone that's listening to that, that identifies as sort of an introvert, it's just because you're not an extrovert doesn't mean that you can't make it work. So
absolutely, there's roles for all types and whatnot, and it's the strengths and weaknesses to being each, and you just have to find them and lean into them.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about the transition moment that you made from the rat race to entrepreneurship.
I guess we can go back to when we founded and started Stealth Marketing Solutions, and I remember the conversation the day we said, that's it, we're doing this and we're investing in it, and we came to the conclusion together when we decided that we wanted to niche in the wellness industry. So I'm a physical therapist assistant and a trainer. I've been doing that 15 years. I absolutely love what I do, work very hard at it. love helping people. So throughout my years, I've learned a lot about nutrition, wellness, taking care of yourself. And so my partner, Jennifer, she is a brain spotting practitioner, somatic movement educator. She is extremely well-versed in all things health and alternative health and wellness. And so we kind of complemented each other in that way. And we realized that there was an opportunity to kind of use those expertise that we have and help other businesses that are trying to communicate a similar message and get it out there to their customers. And so that's why right now I'm working with physical therapy and fitness business owners, and we're focusing on social media right now. So about a year and a half ago, we decided, you know what, we love this. We see how we can kind of plug the two together, the marketing and our love for wellness, and that's it. We made the decision, and very glad that we did.
Yeah. For those who, excuse me, for those who have been through the course or are thinking about it, Chris and Jen and myself have our share inside of module 8, and that goes more into being able to take care of yourself on the physical and mental side, while trying to adjust to this sort of lifestyle. And your part was really great. I know that you helped me with some physical therapy stuff. I had some TMJ going on. Oh, I just wanted to rip my teeth out with a pair of pliers. It was awful, but he gave me some stretches, and it was great. But
glad.
So what made you want to move away from the physical therapy side and get more into the digital marketing?
Well, I mean, I think it's probably a common answer, but freedom.
Sure.
First and foremost, freedom, right? I wanted to not have to clock in and clock out. And well, I do love working with people, but I wanted to kind of do things on a larger scale and whatnot. And you can really make an impact with this and the lifestyle. So I still do work as a clinician. I work part-time. I see private clients. I work for an organization part-time. So, I'm doing both, and that allows me kind of to really get the fulfillment that I do get from being a therapist, as well as having a little bit more freedom in my life and not being so locked into the grind, if you will. I'd like to say the 9 to 5, but it's not 9 to 5. It's 12-hour shifts, back in the morning, closing at 9. The industry is a little tough with the hours because you have to give access to care for all sorts of people with all sorts of schedules. So it can be challenging. And so I was just looking for a little bit of my time and my energy and the freedom that goes with that. And again, it's worked out well so far. I'm really enjoying being my own boss.
Awesome. Yeah, I always found that kind of interesting. It seems like the physical therapy space is one of the only medical fields that I'm aware of that is has such a wide range of hours, where it's not like, I got to go to the dentist, I got to leave work at 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's true. There are places, in Manhattan, the city, they're open until 10 p.m. You could be getting therapy 8:30 to 9:30 at night. I mean, it's good on one hand, but it's tough if you work that schedule for sure.
Right. Yes. Right. Of course. Yes. Now you and Jen were able to land this just whale of a client in the physical therapy space. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was really kind of a dream come true, still is. I still pinch myself that we're working for them, because we're working for an organization where I learned in my textbooks 15 years ago, and I studied some of their orthopedic manual therapy and clinical reasoning. So people that were in my textbook, an organization that I would talk about with other therapists, and you use this training, I am now representing and kind of helping them just to get their message out in the social media space, because they've been around since the 80s. They are known as one of the absolute best physical therapy educators across the board, but the younger generation, because they didn't really kind of get out there in the digital space, doesn't really know who they are the way my generation and the generation that I learned from, we all knew who they were. And so we're taking that time to kind of bring that message to them. And it is a blessing. They're great people to work for too, really, really nice. And it's more than just, running ads and stuff for them. For me, I'm using my clinical knowledge, my skills, my industry knowledge. And I really, really want to help them because I know their value, and I know that me helping their business helps so many clinicians. That impact helps so many patients. And so I really, it's a valuable thing that we're doing, and it's
awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. We talked about that. What would be the most, what are you the most proud of in your journey to date? Besides this client?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough because that definitely does rank as number one. But I guess if I had to, go down the list, I'd say using the skills I've learned on the administrative and the corporate side of just working for organizations, and some skills that I had as a younger man. One of the things I thought about doing in my early 20s, right after college, I was going to shift and be a journalist because I really loved writing. I like reading, writing. I was a good writer. And so I feel I've taken some things that I've learned in different facets of my life over the years and synthesized them, and you are using them well as a digital marketer. And so skills that I maybe wasn't using every day as a physical therapist. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot I'm a really good writer. And things are just kind of blending together. And it's helping me learn and improve, as a digital marketer, and just use all the skills that I've developed over my life. And so, it's exciting, and I enjoy it too. It's a different outlet, different kind of satisfaction when you use a different skill set. So I'd say that.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I mean, this profession isn't all rainbows and unicorns. So, we like to shed some light on I guess the not fun part. So if you wouldn't mind, what would be sort of like the lowest moment for you when you're trying to get things up and running? And
trying to think of the lowest moment. It's tough. There are highs and lows in this, right? And so when you do land a client or things are going well, it's extremely exciting. You get a buzz, you get all hopped up. But similar to other professions, I always think of real estate for some reason in my mind. I have friends who are realtors, and you can put hours and hours and hours into a client or a goal, and then have it just bottom out, and you just put all this time and this energy into that. And so I'd say there maybe are a couple instances where that was the case, and I did feel that low of I just really thought I had them, and there's so many factors too. It wasn't anything that I think we did wrong. It's just sometimes clients are not the right fit for other reasons. There's multitude of factors, and so one or two clients that I really thought were going to work out didn't quite work out, and so they were low. Definitely would say they were my lows, but I learned from them in trying to stay even. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You got to stay in the middle and stay the course. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned.
All right, cool. Yeah. Definitely. If you go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I have to say, if I could talk to my 18-year-old self, I didn't have that belief at all at the time. I didn't have that faith at the time when I was 18. I was kind of stuck in the old model of being raised, and you go to school, you get your degree, you do your job, you work your 40 hours. That's just the way things worked. And I would love to go back and tell myself that that's not the way things are, and that being self-taught and developing skills on your own through whatever means necessary is just as valuable, if not sometimes more valuable, than just going to school and trying to find a degree. Had I learned that earlier, I probably would have pursued, a couple different avenues and probably learned a little more rather than just stay so focused and single-minded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wish I could talk to that 18-year-old kid and say, "Hey man, go be an entrepreneur. It's a lot to learn, but you have all the time in the world, so go get it." But I think a lot of us probably feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's. I mean, from the generation before me, even for them, that was the idea, is that you can either get out of high school or go get an associate's or bachelor's degree maybe, and get out and have a good job and be able to provide for your family, and that was true up until not so long ago. But even when I got out of college here, what's it been now, 6 or 7 years? I mean, that's it's still, I was struggling for a while just to even find something in my field. So I've seen a trend with, even these giant companies are now starting to say, like, we don't need your Harvard degree anymore, but you have to be able to
skills. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And it's definitely cool to see it being the mainstream of you don't have to follow this path because it's not working. So
it's true. It's true. I mean, I had a boss years ago. I was very lucky. He respected me. He put me in a position that led me to grow. Where a physical therapist assistant, I was out of school about 4 years, and he saw my value. He saw my knowledge. He saw my hard work, and he didn't care about what your degree was. He would always say, show me what you got. And,
right.
I would show him. And, that's really the way things are shifting. It's, don't care where you learn it, how you learn it, just show me what you can do,
Absolutely.
Kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
What would you say is a common myth about, excuse me, about digital marketing or your field of expertise?
Common myth about digital marketing.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say, I think a lot of people have the impression that it's just for large businesses, large organizations, corporations who can really afford to do these really large scale marketing campaigns and use taglines and things. But that was the impression I used to have too. I didn't realize how much small and medium-sized businesses really needed digital marketing, and that it didn't need to always be this, significant investment. Like you can have a small business and not have to spend too much money to get the word out and advertise your goods and your services and stuff. So I think people have that impression that in marketing, when you talk marketing, you're thinking big businesses, big firms and stuff, but that's not true. Small hardware store up the street, right? They need to let the word out too. Hey, we have a sale here. So I think that it's really more for everyone, even if you're just an individual, right? It's again back to social media. What we're doing, people are becoming their own brand and they're selling for themselves, And so that's definitely something that I learned that I thought, I guess, is a myth.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with the COVID lockdown, you guys are right outside of New York City. That was one of the hardest hit places in the country as far as
it was. Yeah,
having everything shut down. With those guys that were squeaking by because they had a reputation, or they had good physical publicity, they got a wake up call. They thought, I don't need a GBP, or I don't need a fancy website or anything, and they're all of a sudden they're not getting any business. And the guy down the street is because they just took a small initiative to face out there.
It's funny you say that. There's a place that closed down. It was just a nice small place. Had they advertised, they would still be in business. They had 2 locations. A lot of people I know love a little restaurant. Right? It was a little speakeasy place. Very cool drinks, cool hangout, great food, appetizers.
Yeah.
And COVID, that's it. Had they gotten the word out and advertised a little more, I bet you they'd still be in business.
Yeah. That's a bummer, but it's life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the most important lesson that you've learned in digital marketing?
Um, a lot of lessons, I must say.
Lessons?
A lot of lessons. I'm thinking there's a list there for sure.
That's fair.
I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is something that I heard before in the past, but one of those things that you don't really believe it until you're experiencing it.
Yeah, of course.
Self is that opportunities are everywhere, and that's really related to your network, right? That networking is so unbelievably important. I've seen it in my short time. Your group and who you know, the way things just can pop up through people who you know is it's sometimes fascinating, right? It seems fortuitous at times. So really making sure that you engage with your network, expand your network, and that you help people out when you can in ways, and that continues to grow your network and your trust. So I think that is one of the biggest things is really, water your garden, as they say.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course. It's all, even I'm so surprised at just what, it's sort of could be a passing comment or something oh, you know him, I know him, or
Yeah.
oh, you need that. Yeah. What really,
Yeah.
and yeah. I'll set you up or we can split it or whatever. And then it just
turns into something. It is. It's wild. Word of mouth, digital word of mouth, if you will. And, even in life, your network, a lot of things that have turned out well for us in this digital marketing space, I'd say half of them came from just human interaction outside of here and kind of seeing and recognizing opportunities that I never saw before I started my agency. And now I'm like, wait a minute, there's a massive opportunity out here. Talk to him and let's see, are you interested? And next thing you know, something's happened. So
I mean, without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to get, the Launch Lab up and running.
Yeah. Appreciate that. I mean, the fact that we were, an influence and helping you get that up and running is an honor, because, we learned a lot from you and Sheena for sure. And so we're honored to just, be part of the origination of the Launch Lab.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're glad to have you, especially, with both yours and Jen's expertise and, and the world of copywriting and just all the stuff in the background that just, wouldn't be able to do it without you. And then, and what we met just in a sort of a passing post and
exactly what we were talking about. Yeah. Just a passing post and hey, reach out. And next thing you know, look at us. Here we are.
That's right.
That's wild.
In your opinion, what's the most important personality trait or strength that someone would need to work as an agency head?
I think I would say, again, I feel like I'm being a little repetitive, but it's true. It's
not at all.
The most important aspects is being able to kind of regulate your emotions back to the highs and the lows, because it's challenging. There are days that are tough, and there are days that are so unbelievably great and exciting. Just maintaining your productivity, keeping your eye on short-term goals and long-term goals, and just keeping that steady pace towards those long-term goals without getting too high or too low, I really think is a strength, So people who come into this, be mindful of that. Don't let your emotions come. Understand that they're waves. And on Monday, something goes bad. You feel like the world is ending. The world is not ending. It's just a bad day. You'll have more. And Tuesday might be the best day. So staying even and not letting the emotional swings get you. Yeah,
I mean, this is a mental game. It's just how long can you stay in?
Yeah,
right before you gotta bow out. How much can you take?
True.
And, the ones that failed are a lot of times the ones that just quit before they got there.
Yeah, it's true. It's a high percentage of people who give up in that first year.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of advertisements and stuff going around. It's like, oh, you just need to do this. You'll just run some paid ads or whatever, and then you'll just call these people and
Take
it's
5
fine.
minutes. Yeah.
And maybe you can make some quick money doing that, or maybe you can make some big money, but in the end, it's still a business. You still have taxes, you still have accounting, you still have, employees, you still have payroll, you still have, all of it on the back end. So sure. But it is an avenue where you can make, the money that you want if you're willing to put in the effort, but you also have to be willing to, do the late nights and the early mornings and the weekends. And
Totally.
I'm not sure when the last time that we had a weekend, it's just Saturday. It's just another day.
Yep.
But
exactly the pros and the cons there for sure.
What is one piece of advice you'd give to someone just starting out?
I would tell people to learn and quickly implement. Don't get stuck in the learning. I definitely started out that way, where I was like, I need to learn before I can put anything into action. I want to learn more. The way that you do learn is you learn and you quickly implement. And so I would tell people to take their time initially, learn some basics of what they need to know, and then just jump in, because that's how you really, that's how you get rid of imposter syndrome. That is how you really learn. And so just making sure that you take the action, right? Take the action is going to pay dividends.
Yeah. Imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. I was, and still am at points that way. Oh no, I'm not ready yet. I got to learn more. And you learn more because it's easy.
Yeah.
Because you're scared, you're scared to go out and fail. But how else are you going to learn? You don't learn to ride a bike or, do push-ups by reading a book.
Yeah, it's true.
And, it sucks to fail, but why would you be any good at this if you've never done it before?
Yeah.
Why would you not fail the first time, second time, the third time?
Yep. It's just a learning process. And so many things that seem intimidating, once you start to do them, you realize, this is not hard. This is not a big deal. It just seemed that way because I've never done it before. You do it once, you do it twice, now it's a piece of cake. So
of course,
get past those initial fears by doing as quick as you can, and you'll be better for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't assume that anybody that's the top of their game in anything ever has ever started out and been great at it.
Yep. It's true. So the biggest success stories always start with failure, right?
Right.
Sure.
What is one lesson entrepreneurship has taught you that you think everyone should learn at some point in their life?
Entrepreneurship has definitely taught me that opportunities are everywhere, but not just any opportunity. That the self-limiting beliefs that you have really will hold you back. That there are large opportunities that you might be fearful that you don't think you can do, that are no harder than any small scale opportunities that you might have. A lot of times the smaller ones are even harder, but you just can't wrap your brain around the fact that you could do something potentially that big. And getting past that kind of mental block, right, can open up such massive opportunities. One thing that comes to mind is in the process of finishing my patent for an invention. That's a big swing. I have high hopes for it, and it's something I had the idea for I don't know how many years now, and I sat on it for a while. And over the past year and a half to two, I've taken action on it, and I'm really excited. I have 17 other invention ideas. I'm sure they're not all great, but I think I have a few really good winners in there. But when I had ideas in the past, some really good ones, I thought it was too big. Right? No, that's too much. I couldn't do that. It's too big a swing. But now I realize it's literally not as hard as so many other things I've done in my life. It's just I didn't believe I could do it. So it's that belief. Go take some big swings.
Yeah. the point that really struck me was I heard somebody say it recently. Excuse me. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, and in my very limited free time. But it's what is it? Something that only takes 10 or 20 hours to be good at, but it takes you a year to do that first hour.
Yeah.
And then you sit down and you realize this isn't so bad.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. I think it might be. It sounds something like Alex Ramosi had said, same kind of thing, where I think he was talking about Facebook ads, and he didn't know how to do them. He knew that he needed to learn how to do them. He knew he could hire people to do them. What he decided to do was to pay somebody to teach him, hands-on, drag him through the mud. And they said, well, I don't exchange time for money. He said, yeah, everyone does. What's your price? And he paid him a premium, and he learned. He said it took him a couple weeks, nose to the grind. He's like, I became an expert overnight, and that skill that I just grinded through made me so much money after that. So
yeah, that's actually the thing I was
is that it? Yeah.
That was it. But I think it was something about making a landing page.
Yeah, okay, maybe it was. Yeah,
I think so. I think the paying somebody for Facebook was a different chapter of that.
Okay, yeah,
for that book. But yeah,
I learned from the master.
Something about not being not very good with computers and putting it off and thinking I don't want to do it, and then he eventually sat down and was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And he's like, 4 hours later, I had it done, and I was just kicking myself because why did I take a year to do this?
Exactly. It could have been done. Exactly. And I learned from that as well, as I know you did, because I had similar fears, right? I was okay with computers, but I'm not a tech guy per se. And now here I am doing all sorts of things where a couple of years ago I would have, never imagined I was doing what I'm doing on the computer on a daily basis. So just gotta jump in and don't be fearful of large opportunities just because it seems like it's grandiose. Go for it.
Yeah. Not that any time of day is the best time of day for everybody to do working, but what's the best time of day for you?
I'm a night owl, man. 100%. I like the morning ritual when I can have it, but my schedule right now doesn't allow for it very much. And just since the day I was born, I've always been a night person. When everyone else goes to sleep and it's quiet, it's really when I thrive. I'm the most productive in the late hours.
Sure.
So, some people say, they wake up at 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m., the Mark Wahlbergs of the world, and they get all the stuff done before the rest of the world wakes up. When everyone goes to bed, that's when I hop on.
Yeah. It doesn't matter when you do it as long as you get it done.
Exactly. Right. I mean, it's quiet, just like if you wake up early. It's it's quiet. My mind focuses in the evening a lot better for whatever reason, just how I'm wired.
Yeah. I think it was excuse me. I don't want to just I don't like just throwing out names, especially people that are like super famous in this space, just because I don't want to I don't know. It just kind of feels weird, but there's somebody that I think everyone knows in this space, and it was like, people always say like, oh, I only sleep 4 hours a night, and then I get up and I grind and grind. And he's like, I sleep 8 hours, but in the 16 hours that I'm awake, I do more than the 20 hours that you're awake.
Yes.
Right. So you shouldn't be think that you're lazy because you don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning. But if you sleep to 8, 9, 10 hours, and then while you're up, you just, you actually do the work, sit on Facebook and you watch videos, but you actually, get the job done, then that's what counts.
And I had that mentality in my former life, if you will, when I was working 2 jobs. I had some private clients, so technically 3. And I would sleep 5 hours a night. I'd get up, I'd go, I'd hit the gym, and just zombie style. I did that for a while. And when I went back to finish my bachelor's degree, so it was, going to school and working these jobs. It was crazy. I didn't sleep much. I'm glad I got things done. However, that's not a point. The point of doing this is to be able to get 8 hours of sleep and not have to live like a zombie, at least for the rest of your life, right? Get your 8 hours of sleep, wake up, be productive. For me, I stay up later, I sleep a little later. I'm not up at 5 a.m. most mornings, but I'm sure when I get older, that'll shift, right? Everyone seems to get up early when they age. So for now, I'll stick with the night owl.
Right. I seem to go to bed early too, so it just kind of shifts where you sleep. Oh no, I had something to. That's all right. Oh, that was it. You being in the fitness space and everything, working that grind and not grind and not having that time for rest. Just how detrimental is that on your body?
Yeah, no, significantly. If you want to recover, if you're exercising, you're trying to build muscle, or not even that, just cognitively, just have your body repair and get a hormonal balance and just be optimal for just performance in life in any facet. If you're not sleeping, you're not recovering, forget it. You're just not going to be your best self in anything you do.
Right. Have to get the hours of the REM sleep and the deep sleep in order. If you're talking about fitness, you can eat right, the chicken and rice and broccoli and put in the hours at the gym. But then if you stay up and play PlayStation, then you're not, even if you're not in the bodybuilding space, but you do work a lot. And even if it's just behind a computer, you really want to make sure that you are getting that good sleep, because one, your body's going to start to degrade on you, and two, there's only so much you can do on such little sleep. After that, your actual productivity just takes a dive, and then you're just trying to stay up to get stuff done or try to learn something, and it's not even effective.
Yep, you start making mistakes and not even realize, not catching them.
Right.
No, so very true. And it's when it comes to that sleep, that recovery, and like you said, exercising. When I was younger, I was I wanted to build muscle, and I played a lot of sports and whatnot. Those were my goals. My goals have shifted now. I'm 43. I'm doing some different things. I want to move better. I want to feel better, just in every way. So my goals when I'm in the gym. Not saying I don't lift weight to get some strength and strength training, but I'm not thinking about how big can I get. I'm thinking about the impact this is having on my stress relief and my hormonal balance. And I'm going to sleep good tonight and feel great tomorrow because I got stuff to do, and I'm going to, kick butt tomorrow because I feel good because I, got myself to the gym. So
gotcha.
It's funny how the goals shift.
More of a scientific approach.
Mm-hmm.
If A plus B then equals C. That's That's good. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So I hope to say in South Florida again.
Okay.
Love it down there. So living in South Florida, stealth thriving. I really enjoy the social media aspect. So hopefully still helping people in their in the physical therapy, rehab, fitness, wellness space. Right, get their message out and doing marketing for them.
Okay.
And my hope is to also, I want to establish a small clinic in the community, a wellness space where I can help educate people, a little bit of a gym, where I can maybe film some of my own content and get that message out there. So I want to have the brick and mortar hub down in South Florida, and people just do things, have an impact on the community. Spread the word about how to, take care of yourself, take care of your body, and just connect with other local businesses and just kind of, build up my community and have a positive impact on it in the place that I love, all under the palm trees, baby.
There you go. You don't have to worry about snow anymore.
That's it. So,
I was talking to somebody earlier that in the Orlando region, which I would assume is basically all of the middle of Florida. The middle of Florida. I don't know there's so many people there, but I mentioned that it snowed a little bit overnight. She's like, I've never seen snow before.
It's funny.
You're not missing out. I can tell you what.
It was wild.
Hallmark movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I moved down there. People, I never saw snow. I'm like, what? That's something.
Right.
When you think of that, my college roommate opened up my trunk of my car and I had an ice scraper. And he's like, what the heck is that thing?
What is that thing?
He's like, that. I'm like, you mean the ice scraper? He's like, what is an ice scraper? He didn't understand that you can have ice on your windshield and have to scrape it. I was like,
right. Right. If it never dips below freezing, why would you?
Yeah.
Never bother. Cool.
Think about. But yeah, that's the goal, getting back down there. And
very cool. Just using this whole being able to work from anywhere online kind of deal, and just making it your own. Nice.
Yeah, cool. Definitely. Jen and I, we want to travel. We want to set up get our foothold in South Florida, but then be able to bounce around a little bit more. And that's one of the biggest benefits of the laptop lifestyle. If I'm seeing private clients, not working for an organization, doing my own thing, right, where I can be the CEO, of my clinic space as well as of my digital marketing agency. Yeah. If we want to go overseas for a month, then we will. So that is the goal.
One of the we had a comment on one of the Atlas Agency Launch Lab ads. I'm sorry, what's the word? Sarcasm. It was, you can totally run a marketing agency, while you're sitting on a beach, sipping a margarita or something. And he had the emoji that was like this, and Hoshina very beautifully responded back something like, you can, if you can actually set up so other people basically run it for you and you check in an hour, once in the morning and once at night. That is entirely possible. You see a lot of people in this space that maybe they do have it figured out, maybe they don't, that are like, I only work an hour a day or whatever. And I just go and, I travel to Europe, I travel overseas for a month, and it's whatever. But, that's kind of the idea of the Launch Lab, is to make it so instead of struggling every day and trying to do it all yourself, you're able to figure out how to run it as a business. Mm-hmm. And as a business owner, so you put people in place to do the button pushing and to do, the appointment setting and the sales if you want to, so that even though you are taking a smaller cut of the money, instead of having a pie like this, you get everything, you have a pie like this and you get a slice, it turns out to be bigger than this pie. And it actually gives you the freedom back. And that was sort of the goal, to try to get those people that have been sort of lured into those courses that are like, oh, all you need to do is just run these ads and then you contact these people and everything's good, and show them, how to actually go from there to have that laptop lifestyle. Right.
Yeah. No, it takes work to definitely implement all those things and get them in place. But again, keep coming back to that word, freedom. Everyone's here. Everyone wants to make money. It's not about the money. It's not. People want freedom. People want to be able to spend their lives the way they want. And I mean, that's the goal. That's what anybody who's, an agency owner, that is your long-term goal, to set it up so that you don't have to push all the buttons for 16 hours every day. Yeah. Right? You can manage and be that large scale, creative CEO.
Yeah. With that comes its own problems, and you have to manage people, and people have emotions and don't show up for work, or don't pay attention to what they're doing. And, it's pick your hard, right? But it just, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, I'm with you. It's dealing with people, being a CEO, I think, you got to build your company's values, run your company with integrity the way you want. And that process, right? You might come across some people and where things might not work out, but over time, as you build that and you get the results you want for your clients and you see that they're happy, then you can really take that that step back and start to scale.
Yeah, you're this right. Just to speak to everybody, we're not saying that this is as easy and that you can go out on the beach. There's no such thing as true passive income, unless you just win the lottery, right? There is, it gets a lot easier as you're able to scale as far as the time you put in, and the work is very front loaded. You got to do most of the stuff yourself first, and you got to get the people in place and trial and error and everything. But as close to the return you get for the least amount of actual hours you put in, this is one of the best. It's one of the best careers to get into. So,
and it's growing. I mean, there's so much going on right now. With AI and softwares, things are changing. And if you're in it now, if you're learning now, if you're trying to stay on that cutting edge, there's a lot of opportunities. I always say to people, it's like it's 1990 and the internet just came out. And some people are like, that's not going to catch on. And the people who really jumped in, Silicon Valley are pretty happy about it now. So,
it's a fad, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's no fad.
That's right. There's probably the biggest, one of the biggest advancements in all of human history.
Yep. No, it is.
Happening right now, right?
Yep. And it is. It's unbelievable how quick. I mean, every day I'm reading things to stay on top of what's new and what's developing. There's different companies. I mean, there's so much going on. So it's exciting. It is. There's a lot of opportunity. So
awesome. How is ChatGPT doing today? You checking?
Doing good. My buddy, my little robot friend, doing good. We joke at the launch lab that ChatGPT is my best friend because I pretty much use it for everything. If I'm going to order a pizza, I ask it what toppings I should put on. What am I in the mood for? How'd you know?
Here's my dietary restrictions. Here's my allergies. Here's here's how many calories I burned today. Pizza.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
No, I do. I use it a lot. Honestly, I'd be sad without it. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, we're getting to we're past the 45-minute mark where I like to stop. I would like it so when somebody comes across a video like this, they don't see some really big long number and they're like, I'm not even going to watch it because it's too long, kind of thing. So we would try to keep it short.
For your time, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Where can listeners find you online?
Online, you can find me at consultwithstealth.com.
Okay.
Stealth Marketing Solutions website. And on Instagram, you could find me at _CMACPT_. So CMACPT, it'll pop up, just underscores there. And our Facebook page is Stealth Marketing Solutions.
Awesome. Very cool. I will put that in the comment section after we are done. It's going live. So thanks, Chris. Thanks again, Chris, for coming on. Once again, my name is Zach with Atlas Online Solutions and Atlas Agency Launch Lab. Hope that whoever is listening to this finds at least some good nuggets in there. And if you appreciate what you hear, what you see, and maybe want to come on and add your 2 cents, we'd love to have you on. Excuse me, send me a private message or just comment on the post, and we'll try to get you set up. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks again.
All right. Talk soon, bud.